Not funny. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Not funny.
So this is officially the new intro for the next 20 episode-ish of the podcast. So yeah, we are live. How are you? Alligator Lives Matter. I guess he is not doing well because he doesn't answer.
Oh.
Did you eat too much, alligator? My. Okay. Well, I will ask you, Overlord. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm taking
This is good news.
a
Oh,
bit easy after
alligator is back.
Charlie.
Yeah. Yep, sorry about that.
How are you, alligator?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. Well, guys met the new intro. I know we kind of spoiled it a bit in the 100, but
Right.
this is the new intro for the next 20 episodes. So, yeah. Today we got two Bond movie to talk about, and I will let Alligator Lives Matter start to speak to us about the production of Live and Let Die. So
All right.
I sent it to you on Discord.
All right. Yeah. All right. So while filming Diamond or wait,
Or Forever.
While filming Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die was chosen as the next Ian Fleming novel to be adapted because screenwriter Tom Mankiewicz.
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 Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mankiewicz.
Yeah.
I think.
Mankiewicz had thought it would be daring to use black villains as the Black Panthers and other racial movements were active at this time. This
Very
is
racist days.
yeah. This is this should be
Well,
the,
racist day. Well,
this
yeah,
should be-
racist days, but I'd say the current days are still very racist. Just in a
Different way.
the opposite
Yeah.
side.
This should have been the sequel for Wakanda Forever, so we can drive Multi insane even more.
God damn. I swear there's a sequel to this shit.
Guy Hamilton was again chosen to direct, and since he was a jazz fan, Mankiewicz. Okay, I don't know how you say that, so I'm just gonna say, I don't know.
Mankiewicz.
All right, so I'm just gonna say
We butchered the name, so any movie
so I'm just
fan
gonna
may
say-
know.
I'm just gonna say Mankey because it's easier and it's part of the name.
Hell
Mankey
yeah.
suggested the film in New Orleans. Hamilton did not want to use Mardi Gras since Thunderbolt, featuring Junko or Junko. I don't know.
Junkino. Yeah, exactly. Got it right.
A similar festivity. So after more discussions with the writer and location scouting with helicopters, he decided to use two well-known features of the city, the jazz funerals and the candles, to develop a better feeling of how voodoo was practiced. Saltzman and Broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli. Got it right.
I mean, I shouldn't judge because I made characters with silly nicknames, but I mean, yeah.
These are people, bro.
Yeah.
Broccoli, Saltzman, they're all people.
I mean, Saltzman I can understand, but the other one, okay. Broccoli escorted Hamilton, Mankey, and production designer Sid Kane to scout New Orleans. Further, and then the islands of the West Indies, Haiti was an important destination of the tour, and not only did Fleming connected with the religion, there were many practitioners available to witness. Despite viewing actual demonstrations due to the political unrest in the country at the time, it was decided not to film in Haiti. Instead, they chose to film in Jamaica. While searching for locations in Jamaica, the crew discovered a crocodile farm in Falmouth owned by Ross Kanaka. After passing a ship that warned a sign warning that trespassers will be eaten, a crocodile farm was put into the script and also inspired Manky to name the film known then after Kanko. Um, Alligator lives matters, crocodile lives matters, only crocodilian lives matters, okay? So you see my propaganda? I'm gonna protest this forever. Richard Melvin later claimed he was asked to write the film but declined because he was too busy. He also disliked the completed film, saying to process drugs in the middle of the jungle is not a Bond caper.
But
Sounds
it
like a,
was. It was.
sounds like a multitastic thing to do. So yeah.
Well, that was the production stuff found on Wiki. Like, it took me like 5 minutes, and thank you for sharing this with us. Alligator Lives Matter. Oh, I tried to get the end of it. I tried to get the end of it. So, I will let Overlord start to speak about this movie, Live and Let Die. Overlord?
Yeah. Oh
Maybe
yeah.
it
It's
was
a.
eaten by a crocodile.
Sorry. No, sorry. Anyway, Chris. It's a. Whatever. It was like an old classic about the one that had a theme, the voodoo thing. Then introduced like one of the, and introduced one of the more popular one-shot characters in James Bond,
Yeah.
the Baron.
Yeah, but it was there in Thunderball, I believe, as
Wait,
well.
the Baron was in Thunderball. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that movie, so yes, I'll something else to put on my to watch list.
Thunderball was really good. I thought Live and Let Die was better, but Thunderball was still very
As,
good.
no, I
Top
said
tier.
that it's so I'll add that to my to watch list.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like interesting and entertaining. Go over the some not some over the top stuff, like the kind of stuff that makes some yeah, the kind of stuff that the kind of good of stuff that makes Roger Moore movies entertaining. So I'll give it
Yeah.
a good. I'll give it something like a good. I'll give it a good maybe 7.8 something maybe 8 something
Okay.
like that 7.9.
Okay. Well, I really like that Bond experience. I do think it's a top tier James Bond. I really enjoyed it. Now I will go through my notes if I can find them. Okay.
Can't
Um,
find your notes, multi. Very professional.
I know. Top tier professional like. So before I start off with my thoughts, I have a personal side note. The moment the music kicked in made me realize I actually had seen that Bond movie as a child, and it was my favorite one outside of the Pierce Brosnan era and the Daniel Craig era.
Yeah.
That music team is just fabulous. What did you think of the intro, Overlord? The music
Oh
and
yeah, that was. Oh yeah, that was some fun thing. Loved it too.
considering 1973, it was goddamn good music. It's like top tier music. But yeah, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I only had one issue whatsoever, and that was near the end of the movie. The alligator being lined up so Bond could jump from one to another to reach the shoal. That was like, man, suspicion of disbelief was very high. It's like, no, it's not believable.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, because it's James Bond being racist to alligators. So yeah.
okay. Apparently, we can be racist toward animals now. Okay. But yeah, this James Bond has really good villains, and it's funny the explanation of the people making the movie. It's like, god damn, it's 1973, and you can tell based on what they say. Oh, it would be a daring to have like black villains. Okay, whatever, guys. Whatever. Um, but yeah, the action in this Bond movie was really, really good as usual. Um, and the villain were so likable. They had so
Especially the
much
Baron.
charisma. Yeah,
Especially the Baron.
and the guy with the weird end, like he had some kind of like anchor or like some kind of like pirate end or something. Um, but yeah, um, the Rosie, the woman that basically backs that Bond, she was hilarious because her lack of experience was well shown throughout the movie. So again, it's just a well-made movie with a lot of good action. Live and Let Die, future classic, or I should say, it's already a classic. That movie is freaking 51 years old. That movie is older than me. This is like how we know it's classic, you know? People are still talking about it 50 years later. Um,
And then that turns out it would only just be you. You were just talking about it. Yeah.
but if it wasn't good, like, we wouldn't talk about it. Well, actually, never mind. We talked about Walking Dead and it's not good. Um,
Mm.
the music,
So,
again, is on point. Um, that movie just brought so many fun childhood memories. I just adore this movie, and Bond one-liner as usual are like
Yeah.
top tier.
You know, like the inflated opinion and such things.
Yeah, and the ending was just wow.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's interesting because usually it's the James Bond team that keeps coming back, but in this movie they kept coming back with the Live and Let Die team. We barely heard the James Bond team outside of the and the red screen and the white all surrounded by black. Damn, that sounds racist. That's the most racist um stream we ever did, alligator. We are canceled now. Um
Oh,
so I don't have much more to say, just top tier Bond experience. I look into um my letterbox, something I highly recommend people for making. It's like I don't know, it's like Discord but about movies, and you cannot really message people, but you get to lurk around and see what kind of movie they watch and what did they like. And I will say that as of right now, Live and Let Die is my second favorite Bond movie. We covered 8 Bond movies so far, and well, actually 7 because the 8th one is the next topic. And my favorite Bond movie remains Doctor No. On top of that chain, Doctor No is just a big classic. Highly recommend. Anyway, I would give this Bond movie
a
a
0 out of
9.
10.
No, a 9.7 out of 10. Maybe you would, but actually, maybe because of the alligator, you'll give it a 1. Maybe.
Nah, I was just joking. I haven't even seen the film, so yeah.
Maybe you would like it because of the crocodiles
I
and the
mean,
banger music.
true, but you never know with me, Multi.
You're right. You like The Walking Dead.
No, not even. Wow. Multi is so racist against Walking Dead, which apparently also has a racist moment in season 1. And the comics are actually kind of racist in some areas, so yeah. So, yeah.
So, um, Overlord, do you want to add more about Live and Let Die?
mm, mm, not really. I don't really have much to add. I think
Okay.
that's done early for me, I guess.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, what do you have going on your end of the internet?
me, I'm mostly just just read about just look stuff about some good games and see if anything interesting and anything worth watching, worth playing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the lineup for the rest of the year seems, I mean, seems like most of the good stuff is has come and passed.
But there's Stellar Blade, the big game with
I
censorship.
said the most.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
also we also have Sharknado Overlord, so that'll
like
be a
we have a
fun one to
few.
watch.
I said most. I could early in the year. I could list down a few interesting things. I could list quite. I could make like maybe a. I could make a. I could make I could write down on a paper a list. You know. But now, if what's left, I think I could count on one hand.
I think this is the big issue with mainstream gaming. Like,
There's movies too. Oh yeah, and I'm also including movies as well.
but you don't
There's
really
like a
give it a
few.
chance.
There's a few
Overlord movies is different. There's just so many. You just don't give them a fair shot. Like,
Yeah, well, I'm saying in the upcoming lineup, there's only a few movies that seem worth watching. I could
like
probably count on one hand.
just
Sonic.
next week. Just next week we got Fall Guy. I think 2 weeks from now we got like Planet of the Apes. That one will be good. At the end of the month we got Furiosa, which is like a Mad Max prequel. Just this month, three goddamn like freaking bomb.
Even
Cannot wait
after that,
for
we
the
have
next one.
absolutely. Even after that, for all summer, we don't really have much. Maybe Deadpool. Even
Yeah,
after that, we have. Even after
Twister.
that, at the very end of the year, we have Sonic 3. At 5, I can count on one hand
Yeah, there's
for the
also
rest of the
Twister.
year.
There's also Twister. Me, I plan on watching at least 10 movies from July to
I'll
December.
see if I
Actually,
can
11.
I'll see if I can find a way to watch the Knuckles show. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah, we will eventually maybe cover it. We'll see
yeah.
how it
I'll see
goes.
if I can. I'll see if I can. If I can get them to watch it, I'll tell you when.
Yeah.
Yeah, also
Anyway,
Monty for Planet of the Apes movie, they have a lot of subtitles, so you sure you're gonna enjoy that?
I like I've seen at least two of them, and I like the two I've seen.
Well, I
So,
think that's
can't
probably gonna
remember.
change with your opinion on subtitles.
Not really. I hate
Well,
subtitles.
admittedly, it's because most of the characters, kind of.
Subtitles sucks. They ruin a movie
Yeah, I think it's the
experience.
thing is probably is that okay, the characters don't speak a human because a lot of characters we seem to speak a non-human language. That's
Yeah.
it can happen.
But
And
that can change, man.
I mean,
They adapt. They will learn
it's like
our language.
unless either that or you do, or you have a scenes like for the convenience of you viewers, we'll have all further monkey sounds in the following scenes will be translated into English. I've
Yeah.
seen it kind of
Well, I'm
also
just
kind of
saying because like the fact that he would criticize films that have subtitle language, even though
I don't take it against the movie. I just say that it's hard for me to get into it.
yeah.
It's hard for me to
Sometimes
enjoy, but
it's
I
also
don't take away point from
it's
that.
also something that makes me wonder if they do make. I mean, Nintendo seems a bit more interested in doing TV movie stuff with their products, but if they were to do something with, say, Splatoon, will they have to commit to having all the characters only speak the Inkling language, or will they actually, or will they actually translate for the record? Because it specifically would have the Inkling have their own language that humans can't. It's like a similar way to how the Choso had their own language, and that we only heard it. It took until Metroid Dread to actually hear it.
Yeah.
Like an idea that they had that the Chosen have their own language, but for the most part it was just a background thing, mostly because we never met the live Chosen until
Yeah.
now. But I digress. I've taken more than enough of your time, so
Have a
see,
great day. Thank you a lot and
see,
take care.
see you. Let's see. let's see.
Have a
Next
good day.
game is May 4th, and oh, yeah. I haven't fully seen the Fifth Element, but if I can finally see the full Fifth Element, I'll tell you.
That's great. I hope you can. Highly
Yeah, me too.
recommend. Great
Bye.
movie. Have a
I
good
heard
one.
it. Bye.
Bye.
So it's just you and I. Just you and I. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating. There's like I think three more Bond movie in the 70's. Um
Wow.
Moonraker and two others I can't remember their names, but there's like one in 1974, the other one is like in 1977, and we got Moonraker in 1979. And I remember watching Moonraker many years ago. But Moonraker will be more like something we will cover in season 6. So yeah. Um 007 in the 70's is back with Diamond Forever, and I will let you read out what I sent you about Diamond Forever.
All right. So the producers originally intended to have Diamonds Are Forever recreate commercially successful aspects of Goldfinger, including hiring its director Guy Hamilton, Peter R. Hunt, who had directed On Her Majesty's Secret Service and worked in all previous Bond films as an editor. Who was invited before Hamilton, but due to involvement for another project, could only work on the film if the production date was postponed, which the producers declined to do. As a condition for Hamilton directing after his difficulties with trading unions during the filming of Battle of Britain, Diamonds Are Forever was the first Bond production to be primarily based in the United States rather than the United Kingdom. Oh wow, I actually didn't know all Bond films are actually filmed in the UK.
Yeah, so the idea of James Bond is like we got like Mission Impossible but British. That's the Bond franchise in a nutshell. And
Oh.
yeah, it's just really cool. Um I really adore these movies. They're like good action flicks. But again, like they can sound really racist nowadays. Like in 2024, like it's 50 years later. Like the Bond franchise is very like unique, and it's funny how they were really um in the future, because in the 70's that was very conservative, and a lot of the ideas of these Bond movie are really against conservative. Like we got Bond like sleeping around like almost every movies. That's like a trope of James Bond. And like conservative, they don't sleep around. um so yeah, it's just another good Bond movie. I liked a lot Diamond Are Forever. Not as much as Live and Let Die, but that was still a solid Bond experience. And it felt refreshing that this one was actually in the United States, in the USA, because set design was different and we also had very different characters. We finally got to meet like CIA agent and like spies from other like agencies than MI6, because that's basically MI6. 007 is like MI6. Um, and it was just another good Bond experience with another really solid intro. But this one, unlike the other, I didn't see it before. I think that was my first time ever. If I did see it in the past, I didn't remember it. Um, so yeah. Now I will get into my notes if I can find them. I marked down a lot of timestamps right now. Where are you, notes? I need you. Okay. My notes are right there. Here. There we go. So I only add one issue, and that issue will piss off a lot of people.
I'm guessing I have a few guesses that either it was pacing, people can't aim, or plot convenience. One of those three.
Hell yeah, you know me well. That's the number 2. That's people cannot freaking aim.
Got
Don't
it.
give them gun if you don't want James Bond to be like filled with holes. Why? But it's funny because last week we covered Monkey Man and there was a lot of shootouts, and it actually made sense when people would miss because obstacle, because injuries, because lighting, because a lot of factors. But when people are just pew pew pew, I have a gun, I don't know how to use it, it pisses me off so much. Um, so I still thought that was a fun movie. That was my only issue whatsoever. So Diamonds Are Forever is just a solid movie. And it's funny because I don't have much to say, and it's so sad because I like this franchise and I'm so excited about future Bond movie. Like they are like top tier entertainment. It's just amazing. You really miss out when you don't watch them. Um, it's maybe it's old, but it's good. It's like wine. It gets better the older it is. Um,
Well, well, it's because I just don't have enough time for watch. Like I have time for like stuff like Walking Dead. Yes, I have time, more time for that than this multi. Don't blame me. You, yeah, but it's just a
I
case
don't
that
blame you. I'm just saying in the future, man. Maybe try out one of them. You know, there's
yeah, I
like
think I might be able to watch the Daniel Craig Bond movies.
yeah, these are
So
the best.
yeah, so when we start covering the Daniel Craig Bond movies, maybe I'll have time to watch some of them. I am
It's
interested
in a
in.
long time. We
Yeah,
are
I mean,
far.
I am kind of interested in watching these Bond movies. Yeah.
So it's funny because like one issue I could have that's more like with the franchise so far, because now we have covered 8 Bond movie, it's the lack of connective tissue. Like the big connecting rod, if we can call it that way, the big connection between most of these Bond movie is like James Bond is the main character, but it doesn't change or evolve. So I can see why people would be turned off by this franchise. Like Bond lack growth, and the big thing is, oh, there's Spectre. These villains are basically the same villains for like a lot of these Bond movie. Like Spectre were like the villain for like maybe 3 or 4 of these 8 Bond movies. So this is like the two things that are kind of recurring. And since we kind of brought up the Daniel Craig era, it was very different with Daniel Craig because there they tried to give some characterization and character arc to James Bond and the villains, and it's actually amazing. So I'm really excited to speak about these movies. Will they age well? We will see. I don't know. I have seen 4 of the 5 Daniel Craig movies. No Time to Die, I haven't seen it, but I got spoiled on it, and I don't care because I was massively turned off by it. Um,
I'm pretty sure you watched that when with Walking Dead, so around Walking Dead era. So yeah, I don't blame you.
and I'm also excited about the Pierce Brosnan era because this is the Bond movies I've seen the first. Like, I grew up with Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, and I was playing the video games of like the world is not enough with the blue cartridge for Nintendo 64, and I played a lot of GoldenEye, and I was really shit at both games. And it's funny because I got a Switch, and there was a time I was doing gaming stream, and I actually tried to get into like the Switch Pass, and over there you can play Nintendo 64 games. So I was like, you know what? Let's play GoldenEye. This game is actually terrible 20 years later. I don't care what others may say. They will say, "Oh, I don't have a sense of taste. It's bad." I don't care. This game sucks. But hey, the movie, I cannot wait to see it again. Um so
You
yeah,
did, and
so
then you give it like a 7 out of 10.
maybe, I don't know. Um and it's funny because I read my notes and it's very similar from Diamonds Are Forever and Live and Let Die. There was a car chase in both movies, and I liked both car chase. It was cool. I like cars. Well, in movies, not in real life. I don't give a shit about cars in real life. Um, but yeah, 007 doing spy stuff was entertaining. And it's funny because it's a spy movie and we don't always see spy stuff. Like, if we compare this to like Jason Bourne, I don't know if you have seen Jason Bourne.
I've only seen parts of the Bourne Legacy, but I haven't seen the franchise. I think that is one we should cover.
That's funny because we will. After the Bond franchise, we will cover the Bourne
Yeah.
franchise. There's 5 movies, and it's funny because you mentioned Legacy. That's one of the last two. I think it's the fourth one, and there are
Yeah, it is the fourth.
5.
Yeah, it's
And
the fourth, and it features Hawkeye. That's an interesting crossover.
yeah, and again, so after the Bond, so basically on my current planning, and this aspect won't change whether if Alex or Gray will come or not. This won't change. Like, there's at least 2 to 3 Bond movie per season. Um, if the guys are coming back, it's only 2 to 3. But if they are not coming back, it will be 5 to 6. So depending on if they come back or not, um, we will finish Bond around season 9. So like somewhere next year, around that time.
All right.
But yeah, right after James Bond, we will cover the Bourne franchise, and this is other movies. These were like spy trailer I used to watch when I was like 10 years old, and I liked these movies. That was like cool action flick. And this Bourne franchise has a lot more spy stuff than James Bond, and there are less movies. That's the funny part, and the sad part at the same time. Now
All
I
right.
sound like a Bond hater, but I'm not. I love these movies. I just feel like other spy movies just did it better. Mission
Nah, I
Impossible.
think I think you just hate James Bond. So pretty much all your opinions have been wrong. So pretty much you think all these are 1 out of 10s or into the minus. So pretty much you agree with Alex. Just you decided to just fake it because you want to be the you want to be not sound like an echo chamber.
And it's funny because we also have these Mission Impossible movie that you have seen that do more spy stuff than these Bond movies. Now I will admit, uh, the Pierce Brosnan era has a lot more spy stuff than like the older one. The same goes for Daniel Craig era. Like, I swear, these Bond of my childhood, maybe it's nostalgia, but they are like just top tier experience. Maybe it's because they had more money and it's more modern than the others, but yeah. Um, Diamonds Are Forever was really cool, and it felt like the plot was kind of different than usual because this time around it revolved really around like diamonds and like people that try to steal diamond and make money out of it. And James Bond is like there to try to investigate and find out who's stealing the diamonds, and he traps people and he steals other people personalities or identities, I should say. Like, there's identity theft there, and that was really cool. And we also had like one of my favorite fight scenes so far in the Bond franchise. So basically, James Bond fought someone that he wanted to steal the identity from, and they fought in an elevator. And it's funny because after he defeated the other guy, he kind of left his own ID inside the wallet. So when they bump into a girl he was trying to seduce, yes, that's part of the premise and the plot. Um, James Bond basically shows his ID, but he makes it believe that that's the guy ID. So the girl is like, "Oh, that's James Bond. That's you just deleted." But James Bond is just laughing in his head. He's like, "Oh, I just liked her." um, but it's funny because even if he lied to her the entire time, by the end of the movie, you realize, oh, the girl was actually aware that it wasn't really the guy James Bond pretended to be. She was like, oh, you're not really that guy. You're someone else. And James Bond is like, I won't admit it, but I admit it. That's like some of the best moment the movie had. Um, so again, I'm so entertained by this franchise. I don't get the eat. I don't get the eight. Well, actually, I do get it. People don't like sexism and racist stuff, but it's movies. Like, just have a fun time. Just turn off your brain. Um. So again, looking forward for other Bond experience, and it's funny because we were laughing the other day about Moonraker. Um, they go in space. They go in freaking space, and Alex was like, "Oh, they really do go in space," and I'm like, "Yes, they do." And Gray was like, "Oh, yeah, they go in space." Cannot
Man,
wait for that one.
this just makes me miss Alex and Gray more. Like, it just makes me miss them more. But I'm glad that things have been starting to get a little better.
Yeah, hopefully. Um, so um, I think I now I know like Overlord is not around, but I will strongly disagree with what he said. Um, there are good movies this year. He just doesn't look at the right place. So I will say Diamonds Are Forever for me is a 9.7. Just like Live and Let Die. But I liked more Live and Let Die. Maybe there's the nostalgia factor because I did see Live and Let Die as a child. Maybe not, because the music is goddamn good. I still have it in my head, and I've seen that movie like last week, like early, maybe like yeah, like Monday, something like that. Goddamn good movie. Anyway, Diamonds Are Forever is just another solid Bond movie. In my experience, that's my third favorite so far, and we covered eight. So here's the ranking of all eight Bond movies so far for me. In last place, we got Honor Majesty Secret Service. That was like something we covered like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I wasn't a fan of it. I thought that was average. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. In seventh place, we got From Russia with Love, a goddamn racist one. That was a very funny one. And it was good. Maybe not the racist part, but it was a good movie. Um, Goldfinger. Um, I like that one as well. That's my sixth place. Coming in fifth place, we got You Only Live Twice. I think in the bunch that was the most racist shit ever. Like we had goddamn that was in Japan, and we had goddamn ninjas flying around, bro. It's like you cannot be more racist than the shit. And like they were trying to turn James Bond into a Japanese guy. It it
That's
is still
I wonder why this guy hasn't shown up in Catcom yet.
um, but it was still a good movie. I liked it. Um,
So you
come,
enjoy racist movies then, even though you said earlier you hated racist movies.
and
So So I think it's a case you don't know what you're talking about, Multi.
Okay, okay. In fourth place, there's the Bond movie I recommended Overlord to watch, Thunderball. I liked it a lot. I think I gave like 9.5 or 9. Can't remember. Um, Now, in third place, we got Diamonds Are Forever. And in second place, we got Live and Let Die. Finally, my favorite is Dr. No, where we got someone that's yellow faced. Yes, it was a thing. You know blackface, right?
Blackface, never heard of it.
Okay, so blackface it's like basically a white or like non-black actor that gets black paint over his face to pretend they're black.
Oh,
That's blackface.
oh,
So
I know that. I know that, but I almost thought it was something else. But yeah.
so what? I have a guess. What does yellow face means?
Okay. I think I know. So it's
Go
pretty
for it.
much blackface, except think a black guy uses white instead.
That's very close. That's more like Chinese slash Japanese. So basically, we had like an American or a British. I'm not quite sure the nationality of the guy, but they basically painted his face so he looks like a Chinese guy, and they were making him wearing like makeup so it looked like he had Chinese eyes.
Oh yeah, I've seen things like that. That's actually something in one film that Cole actually mentioned back in like last year, in the summer of last year, when when I said I like Batman Rom for the first time. He pretty much brought up Batman 1943 or 1930 something. I forgot the year. And that's where he said that there was like some Japanese, and that's what they did. So, that's something we can cover one day. Just for you know, just so that like the day Cole returns or all that, or the time when Cole comes back. But yeah,
Yeah, it's unique, man. Um, so yeah, I just like 007 in the 70's. Um, Diamonds Are Forever and Live and Let Die are some of the best Bond experience I've had since we started this podcast. It's so moving, emotional. Um, so to go back to what I kind of said, um, I strongly disagree with Overlord, and I think this will serve as some kind of end outro near the end. Um, I I will say this year there's 11 movies I will go see to theaters. Well, actually more than this because there's just 3 just this month. So this month there's 3 movies I will go watch. Uh, Planets of the Apes, Mad Max, and the third one is Fall Guy. Fall Guy, I'm so excited to see that one. So it's basically a Ryan Gosling movie, and it seems like they will parody a lot of the action trope like Monkey Man did, but this movie will not take itself seriously, unlike Monkey Man. Monkey Man was dead serious, but I feel like Fall Guy will be like a satire of like the action genre as something, and it looks and sound amazing. And it's David Leitch that directed Fall Guy. So this means it's the same guy that did John Wick. So I expect good action and I expect really good humor. Um so yeah, David Leitch did so many good movies we covered. I would need to Google it to know exactly which one, but I know we've covered most of his library. Because there was a time we were doing directors, Cole and I, like around the time just before you came in. But
yeah.
even when you came in, we were like finishing off like the director era. So maybe you have seen like some of the David Leitch. This one I'm not quite sure. I do think it was him. Uh, Panic Room. I think that was one of the David Leitch movies, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that was one.
Uh,
Um,
it's David Fincher actually.
yeah, maybe. Actually, oh, I will
Yeah,
look
I
into
just
it.
did research and yeah. Oh,
Fall
this is
Guy.
that film we covered. I didn't like. That was like about a home invasion. Yeah.
Yeah. Fall Guy. Um,
Yeah. I almost thought you even. I almost thought you were talking about
David
Free
Leitch.
Guy.
No,
I
that's
almost.
David Leitch, the guy. So maybe I mixed up things. David Leitch. I'm sure I've seen other David Leitch movie. I will Google it right now.
Yeah.
David Leitch.
Yeah. I almost thought you were talking about Free Guy, that film that features Ryan Reynolds. That came out in 2021. I almost thought Free Guy. Is that the Ryan Reynolds one? Until you said Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling.
I was damn right. So the guy who directed Fall Guy, the movie I'm excited about, we covered Bullet Train. I really liked it. That's before your days. Um, he covered the second Deadpool, which is something we will cover in season 8. He did Atomic Blonde. Oh, that's another freaking good spy thriller I liked. I'm eager to rewatch this movie. Um, he did Hobbs and Shaw, Gray's favorite Fast and Furious movie. He did John Wick, and that's it for the movies I've seen that he did. Oh, he. Mm, yeah, I think that's it. So I mixed up David Fincher and David Leitch, but I still end up seeing like a lot of David Leitch stuff. Um, so yeah, like just made 3 movies. June, I can't remember. I don't think there's any movies I want to see in June, but that may change. It depends. I can't remember. I don't think so. Um, July, I know there's Twisters. That sounds fun. And there's also Deadpool and Wolverine. I know you will hate it most likely, but hey, I'm curious to see it, and that's one of the few movies Overlord want to see. August, we were supposed to get Craven the Hunter, but apparently that was postponed to December. Just cancel it already, won't get better. And now they pit it against like Lord of the Ring Roaring and freaking Sonic Tree. Like now it has even more chances to bomb. It's hilarious how they postpone it. I don't get it. So August, I remember there was a movie I wanted to see outside of Craven, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, Alien Romulus. I think they just chose the wrong year for Craven the Hunter. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. They chose the wrong year. Um, then we got September. There's Beetlejuice, and I think Joker 2. But this one I'm not 100% sure. I know there's 2 movies in September, but I can't remember the second one. Um, October we got Venom 3 and another movie. But again, I can't remember the other one. I marked it down somewhere. And November we got a second Gladiator. That sounds fun. I cannot wait to see that one. And December we got Lord of the Ring Rohirrim, we got Sonic 3, and apparently Craven the Hunter. Looking forward for all of these. Um, yeah. So, are you a bit more interested into the 70s with James Bond and 007?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I won't have time for them.
Okay, please, that piqued your interest, you know? What do you have going on your end of the internet?
Like I said in my community post, I should have a video coming out Friday. Yeah, and that's how it's gonna be just for strictly this month. After this month, I'll be posting in like a crazy amount. So yeah. So after
Okay.
so after this month, I should have a lot of videos coming out.
Excited. And it's funny because after this month, I think I will have more time, so I will actually watch them. I'm sorry, bro. I feel like a really bad friend because I just don't
You're
have
just
time.
busy. You're just
Yeah,
busy. So yeah.
like I've been saying it for months that I want to see them, and it's a bit weird because sometimes I do have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to jump into a stream I see from Charles or someone else, but I it's just 5 minutes. I stick around. I say I listen to what they say, and then I up out and do something else. That's just how it goes with me. And like there was a time like when Gray on his second channel started doing reviews. I was actually curious. I just upped in there, and these are like 3 or 4 minutes ish. I was like, oh, you know what? I will watch one, and then I did other stuff. Then later on, I came back and I watched another one. Then, but man, I'm so selective. But again, I'm very time limited.
Yeah. So it's not your fault. You have time issues. So yeah.
I wish
So
we had 48 hours a day. That would be the perfect day. You have enough time to sleep twice. You have enough time to like watch every movies you want. That would be paradise. Anyway, this shall mark the end of this current stream. And next Saturday, I hope we may have Alex back. I will ask him again if he would be interested to come back for Saturday to speak about last night in Soho. That was a really good movie. I adored it. Cannot wait to talk about it. Um, there's also The Walking Dead season 9, which is something that interests you for sure.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like your least favorite season now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could literally like when you're talking about like the whole like the fact that there's no like zombies should be less than. I was like, okay, yeah, season 9 and parts of 10 are gonna be like the worst seasons, without a doubt. Like
Eh,
I think this should even top season 4, even by my standards, it will top season 4 for you.
I will shock you, I think. I will shock you. I cannot wait. I think it will be the most interesting Walking Dead stream we ever did.
Yeah, well, around this time, the showrunner for season 4 through 8 is changed, so that's why they have a different showrunner for season 9, 10, and 11. But I can confidently say that this is your least favorite season. That's for sure.
Maybe you don't know me as well as you think. Just teasing that.
Well, I mean, if you like this season, I was like, it's kind of late for that because now it became a joke that you hated the show, and yeah,
And the
like
third topic. Oh, yeah, what did you want to say?
I was about to mention, like, even sometimes Gray doesn't agree with your issues, and I believe to some extent even Alex didn't agree with some of
They
your.
both said I had the same goddamn issues as them. Stop bringing back that. Do you want me to ping you again?
I'm just saying, like, even
I'm just saying you're wrong on that. They agree with me on Walking Dead.
some parts, yes, that I will agree. They do agree on some parts.
Anyway, the third topic for Saturday is another surprising one: the fifth element. Um, so yeah, I think we are out for tonight.